things, because you were mentioning the 30s, and we obviously know that in the early 20th century there was laws against the ownership of gold. So what kind of negative implications, as well as positive implications, obviously would be the price, but would there be for gold owners?
Well, confiscation is a concern for gold owners. There's a history there. President Roosevelt tried to confiscate gold in 33 and 34 from private hands. There was a rationale for that, because back in those years, gold constituted a big part of the currency stock of the United States. And we were going through a catastrophic debt deflation. The government didn't want hoarding of gold, and people were hoarding gold to protect themselves. And why shouldn't they have? The banks are failing. If you didn't have gold at home, you were sunk. You were losing your bank deposits because there was no deposit insurance. So hard coin at home was really the only thing you had. Roosevelt did get some of that gold back. He probably did not get most of it, because there's a lot of pre-1933 gold coins still floating around. But the United States did confiscate gold once, and made it illegal, made private ownership of monetary gold illegal in the United States until it was re-legalized in 1975. So there's a record of some concern there. Other countries have laws that enable the government to seize private gold. I think a few years ago, when South Korea had a currency crisis, it called on the people to turn their gold into the government and to support the government against financial collapse. And remarkably, South Koreans did turn their gold into the government, and the government was saved by the gold that was stored with the people. China still talks lately about storing gold with the people. It has been encouraging its people to buy and hold gold. So what does it mean, say, for Western investors? I put that question to the Treasury Department a few years ago. It took a lot of prodding. I finally had to recruit my congressman to compel the Treasury Department to answer my damn letter. But I wanted the Treasury Department to tell me, what is the Treasury Department's position on confiscation of gold? Well, thanks to my congressman, and I'll give him a plug, John Larson of 1st District here in Connecticut, I finally got like an assistant undersecretary for foreign assets control to answer me, and his answer is posted on got his internet site. He wrote back to me saying that the Treasury's position on gold confiscation was this: that under the Trading with the Enemy Act of 1917, which is the act that President Roosevelt claimed as authority for confiscating gold, and the Emergency Economic Powers Act of, I think it's 1977, the Treasury Department claims the power, upon a proclamation of emergency by the President of the United States, to seize or freeze any gold or silver related assets. But the assistant undersecretary told me I shouldn't get too paranoid about it, because under the same two statutes, upon a proclamation of an emergency by the President of the United States, the Treasury Department claims the power to seize or freeze any goddamn thing it wants. So, land of the free and home of the brave. Now, I don't think this is probable, because gold in private hands in the United States does not constitute really any significant part of the money supply. And other than punishing gold owners for their foresight, I don't think a confiscation would accomplish anything for the government. And of course, I don't think a confiscation order would be complied with. If there was a bulletin right now that the government was confiscating gold, I would ask to call you back. Now, more likely, as Jim Rickards, who's a brilliant market analyst and geopolitical strategist, has pointed out, rather than gold confiscation, if the U.S. government wanted to punish gold investors for their foresight, it could impose windfall profits taxes on capital gains in gold. That would be much more practical for the government to do than to try to search through everybody's house and everybody's backyard for privately held gold. So as the Treasury Department's explanation that I got from them some years ago suggests, the government has many mechanisms with which it can oppress us far more conveniently than knocking on our door asking us to deliver our gold.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of funny. Do you think you mentioned that some people in financial circles are aware of what we're talking about today, but a lot of people, like you said, in the financial press in the U.S. really are not. Obviously, now with all